Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Hopefully everyone is having a great day as always. In today's video, we are going to focus in on these nickels that you see at the top of your screen right here. We've got a 1908, 1906, and 1900 Liberty Head nickels. These are also known as the V nickels. These were made from 1883 until 1913. We'll talk about the different conditions. We've got some that are in good, very good, fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, uncirculated, and choice uncirculated. So we'll get into what drives those different grades. And of course, we'll talk about the values associated with each one of those grades for the years that I've got right here. We'll also briefly touch upon these coins that we see at the bottom here. We'll pull these aside after I introduce them and come back at the end of the video. We have a 1922 peace dollar. Yes, this is a silver coin, and it is a rather big coin. Look how thick it is in its circumference, its diameter. So there is a lot of silver in this. We'll talk about the value of this coin. From our friends in the United Kingdom, we have a 1912 halfpenny. Now, what makes this interesting? We flip it over, and Queen Elizabeth II isn't on the obverse. So we'll talk about who this is. There's a little hint right there. And we will talk about this coin right here, also from the kind of the same time period. It's a 1909 Lincoln penny. The 1909 VDB cent is the lowest mintage. 1909S VDB is the lowest mintage Lincoln penny. So we'll flip this over and see if we've got those engraver's initials, Victor David Brennan, at the bottom of this penny, and see if it's that 1909 VDB cent. But as the title indicates, the majority of this video will be spent talking about these coins right here, the 1908, 1906, and 1900 victory cents. Now, I am handling these without gloves or without any kind of safety as far as getting oils on the coins. And that's because these particular coins that we see in front of us right here would only be in the good or very good condition. And we'll get into the values of those later, but they are nothing too special. What defines the good condition? Good condition is described as no details in the head, and Liberty is obliterated. I'm going to zoom in on one of them, or I guess we can kind of see both of them in this shot right here. Now, the high point on the coin is the head in the Liberty head. So we've got the hair right here, as well as we see Liberty is supposed to be written right there. But as you can see, it's worn out. So a good condition, Liberty is obliterated. So good is the worst condition. That would be a 4 out of 70. And then the very good condition, that would be a 8 out of 70. Some letters in Liberty are legible, eligible, I guess. You can see them. So that would be a 8, and I would say that these right here would reach that 8 rating. Now let's look at the price. I've got the red book in front of me right here. So we're going to go to 1908, and then we'll work our way backwards. We're going to look at the VG8 designation for these prices. In 1908, there were 22,684,000 of these that were made, and they've got a price of $3 for the VG8 for 1908. Going on to 1906, we've got a $3 price guide, and 1900, we have a $3 price for the very good graded coins. Now, of course, if you get into the very high grade coins, that's where it gets exciting. So for the Mid-State 60, the 1908, that is going to be worth $100. And for the 1906, $85, and for the 1900, $90. So in a great condition, obviously, these coins can be worth quite a lot of money. Now, another rare, super valuable coin is known as the 1913 Liberty Head, because only 5 of those were ever known to be made. Here's a little insight from that. The Liberty Head nickels dated 1913 were first revealed when a former mint worker showed an example at the 1920 American Numismatic Association convention. Soon after that, 5 specimens were known to have been in the hands of Philadelphia coin dealer. The coins were sold in 1924 to another dealer, and their color There were the famous Wall Street investor to the son of the famous Wall Street investor Hetty Green. So these coins are worth quite a lot of money. One sold at the Heritage auction in January 2014 for $4 million. So when there's a U.S. coin in which only 5 of them were ever made, as you can imagine, they are quite valuable coins. Now, we didn't really talk about the characteristics of the coin, so let's get into the very basics of what you're looking at right here on the obverse side of the coin. On the obverse, we see the head of liberty. We also see 13 stars going around the head, representing the first 13 colonies or states of the United States of America. Now, this is a copper nickel coin, so there's no silver in this coin, just like the current metal day content, just that copper nickel combination to it. When we flip it over to the reverse side, we see the large V in the center right there, representing the Roman numeral 5, and then we've got a wreath going around the outside of it right there. We also see United States of America, E pluribus unum. We see the V and then cents down here so that people don't mistake it for the $5 coin. These are just the 5-cent coin. All right, let's look at some of those other coins from the same era that I promised we would look at in today's video. Let's start it off with the UK coin. We'll go with the 1912 halfpenny that we see right here. So this is the halfpenny. This design and metal content was made from 1911 to 1925. On the reverse, we see a seated figure of Britannia facing the right with the trident in the left hand. The shield bearing the Union flag is in the right hand. That has been kind of obliterated and worn off. We see the denomination going around the outside right here, and then we see there's actually the C in the background, but that's been worn out as well. And then we got 1912 down here at the bottom. So this is just the second year that this coin was made. There were 21,185,900 of these that were made. You've got to get yours in the very good condition or better for it to be worth some substantial money. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, we flip it over to this side of the coin right here, and we see King George V facing the left. Now, of course, we don't see Queen Elizabeth II, who we're used to seeing on a lot of coins. Now, the translation of the lettering going around the outside, that translates to George V, by the grace of God, King of all Britonians, Defender of Faith, Emperor of India. Now, of course, they later had to remove the Emperor of India. That's the IND-IMP right here because India gained their own separation from the United Kingdom. So that got removed from the UK coins. All right, we're on to this one right here. It's the peace dollar. The peace dollar is a very special coin because of its silver content. So the total weight of the coin is 26.73 grams. It's got 90% silver in it. So at today's current silver prices, it's worth $14 in melt value alone, just based on the silver content of the coin. Now, this coin is in pretty good shape as well. What we're looking at as far as the obverse side is just the capped head of Liberty with a headband, and then we've got some rays going out of the headband. We see Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date down there, 1922. As far as the mintages for this coin goes, there were 51 million that were made without the mint mark, so those would be the Philadelphia minted coins, and then 15 million made with the Denver mint mark, and then 17 million made with the San Francisco mint. We flip it over, and what we see on the reverse side right here is an eagle standing right on a rock. Its wings are folded, seen from the back with a branch in its talons, and then we've got those rays going across the coin. So we've got peace, there's the olive branch and its talons right there, and then we've got the eagle standing on the rock, and then we're looking at it from behind. All right, the final coin in today's video that we're going to look at very quickly is this 1909 Lincoln cent. As I mentioned, the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent is the lowest mintage in the entire Lincoln cent series, in which there are only 484,000 of them that were made. Is this one of those coins? No, unfortunately, it is not, but it is a 1909 VDB cent, so it's got that Victor David Brennan cent. his initials down there at the bottom. So we see 19. We see the engraver's initials down there. However, this isn't the San Francisco mint mark coin, but it's still a pretty valuable coin. There are only 27 million of these that were made in 1909 that have the engraver's initials on the bottom, compared to 72 million of them that were made without the initials. Now, they removed the initials of on the reverse side of the coin because they saw it as kind of like a self-promotion of the artist who designed this. So they pretty soon after they released the VDB cents, they pulled them out of circulation. So in 1909, we have, as far as the Lincoln pennies go, we have the regular 1909. That's without the initials, without a mint mark. 72 million of those were made. And then there were 27.9 million of the 1909 VDB, 1.8 million of the 1909 484,000 of the 1909 SVDB cent. So the mintages across the board are pretty low, but the most rare ones are going to be the ones that have the initials down there at the bottom. To quickly recap what we looked at in today's video, we had this cool Lincoln penny right here, 1909 VDB. We had a peace dollar worth $14 just based on its silver content alone, because it is a 90% silver coin and a very large one. And we looked at these Victory nickels right here, also known as the Liberty head nickels. This series was made from 1883 till 1913. The three that I've got right here are 1908, 1906, and 1900. All right, everyone, that's all the info that I've got for you today. Thank you very much, and best of luck coin collecting out there.